Doing a cloth simulation is definitely not the easiest thing in Blender, but this simple trick will save you a lot of effort. Here I have a rigged Superman character with a walking animation. I want to attach this cape to Superman and then do a cloth simulation. For that, first I select the rig and set it to preset position. This will set it back to its original pose. Let's attach our cape to this spine board. Select our cape, go to Object Constraints and add a child of constraint. Select our rig as the target. Select Spine to Bone and hit Set Inverse. This will parent our cape to that bone. After that, select our rig and set it back to pose position. Now, when our spine bone moves in the animation, the cape will move with it. If you see any issues in the first frame, go to Sculpt mode and adjust it quickly. To add cloth simulation for the cape, first I will create a vertex group to pin the cape. Then add a cloth physics and use that vertex group as the pin group. Now when we play, we get a basic cloth sim. I add collision to Superman and enable self collision for the cape. Immediately you can see it is not looking good. We can reduce the collision distance and increase collision quality, but still it is very slow and not that smooth. That's what we are going to fix. I remove the cloth sim and collision of Superman. At the moment, I have all these three objects in a separate collection. I right click on it and duplicate it. Hide the original collection. Set the pivot point to 3D cursor. Then I select the rig and scale it 10 times. This will scale up our Superman and also our cape because of that child of constraint. I select the cape and add a cloth simulation. Select the pin group and enable self collision. Everything else is at their default settings. Add collision to Superman mesh as well. Now when I play, you can see immediately we get way better results. We didn't even need to increase the quality. Because of that, it already plays on a higher FPS. Let's polish our cloth sim. I add a wind force because capes are boring without a wind. The reason why it is playing this well after scaling up is now the distance between collision meshes is also increased 10 times, and that does help for faster and better cloth sim. You don't really need higher quality settings as well, but once we scaled up, you need to adjust some cloth sim settings to make it look similar to what it could look like if it was its original size. Now you may be thinking, it is great, I can now bake this sim and scale it down 10 times to play at its original size. Well, that's not going to work. Once you bake the sim, scaling doesn't matter. It will go back to its bake size when you hit play. So that method will not work. But we do have a more easy method. I enable the original collection and hide the second collection. We actually don't need this cape mesh now. Add a mesh plane and I call it Cape Clone. Then I open a window here and change it to Geometry Nodes Editor. Create a new GeoNode setup. I call it Cape Clone. We don't need this group input node. Now drag our cape from the second collection into the setup. Set it to relative and connect it to group output. It is 10 times bigger than what we need, right? So I search for transform node and put it here. Change the scale to 0.1. This will scale down our cape to its original size. And now when we play, look at that. And the best thing is, if you want to adjust the cloth sim, you can select that cape from the second collection and adjust its settings while seeing the results in here in original scale. And after all adjustment, you can bake the scene. It will work fine. After baking, you can delete any unnecessary force field and collision objects in the duplicate collection. And that is how you can easily create cloth simulation in Blender. If you like to take a look at the project files and other demos, consider becoming a Patreon member. So hit that like button, comment your thoughts below, and don't forget to subscribe to HellFX Learn so you won't miss out when the next video drops. Until next time,